Hi everyone, Ray from Pro String with another racket restringing tutorial. Today's racket will be a squash racket. Busy as always, guys, always busy. Guys, today's racket will be a Wilson Hyper Hammer 120. Alright, so it's a Wilson Hyper Hammer 120. Client actually has brought 3 of exactly the same. 13.5 lengths of a racket. This racket has a lot of string. It's got more cross strings than most of your normal, but mains seem to be pretty much the standard kind of number, which is 14, I believe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I lie. So I'm pretty sure this is 16, 19, not that it says it anywhere on the racket, but what I can do easily enough is count them for you guys. I should know this already, but I've strung one of them, one out of the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, 16, 20. Right, makes sense. I left myself a lot of string. I actually did notice there was a lot of strings. Especially, so it's got a power hole system, guys. Power holes. Back in the day, that's something that's not made anymore. Very old racket, not bad shape at all, which would indicate it probably doesn't get used all that much. But anyway, moving forward, we need to count 7 strings to this side, which will later go on to measure with the rest of the reel. Technifiber 305 strings in a 125mm gauge, 17 gauge as well, is what we're using for stringing this Wilson squash racket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I was right. It's 14, 20, not 16. Sorry, guys. 16, 20 stringing pattern. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Leave yourself a little piece of string, a couple inches to reach the tension head. 26 pounds of tension on this racket, guys, which is pretty much a balance between control and power. Can I put the tension on these ones? I'm gonna put the sticker, should I say? Don't know if it's gonna fit. Anyway, just checking my other one. The other racket I did exactly the same as this, from the same client. Alright, guys. 3 strings to each side, guys, as always, stringing symmetrically, compensating your tension from side to side. There's no point. It's not healthy, in fact. It's not that there's no point. Well, that as well, but yeah, you want to be stringing as evenly as possible. 3 to each side should be your max. So that's 3 to one side, guys, as you have seen. Check my camera real quick, make sure we're, yeah, all good. Since there's been a few videos where I have been recording and then stopped at like a minute, but I don't know why. If I'm activating some part of the phone, or I'm saying some magic words that I shouldn't be saying that activates the phone and it's doing something else, or it's just, seems like when I get phone calls it seems to be fine. It carries on recording. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's all good. This is the most popular squash string on the market, I would say, by far. Technifiber 305, which is a multi-filament string. Nice, very nice to play with. Not that I've actually used it myself, because I don't play squash. But from tomorrow, today's the 26th of May, by the way. 26th of March, sorry, not May. 26th of March. I need to slow my head down. It's at 1,000 hours, 1,000 miles per hour, 1,000 hours per mile. Oh, wow. So tomorrow we're moving to a gym. It seems that the deal has been sealed. Wow. I'm struggling to talk, obviously. we're moving to our Mayfair location, which is actually in an office building now. Is going to move to a gym called Nordic Balance, which is a 6-minute walk away from our current location, which has a squash court. So I am looking forward to possibly getting on the squash court. That would be pretty cool. I haven't played squash since I was, I think, in my late teens, 17, 18. I think the last time I might have played was at my old job on in Mijas Costa del Sol, just before Marbella, where I grew up. A large tennis squash club called Club del Sol, which unfortunately, well, it used to be the best place around, and the guy, the owner, decided no more events, no more mix-ins, no more nothing. I had some ITF junior events, which I actually played when I was working there in between my shifts. I was allowed to go play. I think I made main draw. It was the only one I played. Anyway. Up your tension, guys, on your last main string or cross string. 15 to 20%, as you would with any type of squash, tennis, or badminton racket. Just FYI, for your information. And a Parnell knot for our finishing knot. Guys, these knots up here, these grommets up here, there are 3. This racket has 3 shared holes. When I say shared holes, that is the cross and the main string share the same grommet or the same hole. Same thing. Holes in in tennis, squash, and badminton are known as, so the holes with the plastics or the plastic tubing is known officially as grommets. And as you may see, this racket, for example, the head guard comes down to here. All these little pieces of tubing or the grommets are attached to the head guard. So these things can be changed as well. It just depends on how old the racket and the model is. These things do get discontinued relatively quickly after a few years, so you actually then can't replace them and have to go out and buy a new racket. Marketing, smart marketing. But then at the same time, if you're smart and you know that you're going to keep that racket for a while, buy a grommet. Cost 10 bucks, 10 euros, 10 pounds. And then just get somebody to install them for you, unless you're capable of doing it yourself. It looks easy, but it never is, depending on the type of racket. It's tennis, squash, badminton. Well, badminton just has grommets, doesn't have a head guard, as you may know. So different. So that for squash and tennis, yes, these things do exist, especially if they're middle or top range of quality of the rackets. Cheap rackets, guys, don't come with this option of being able to buy the grommet separately normally, as far as I'm aware. So anything that's not full carbon graphite, it's an aluminum or metal kind of racket, then don't expect to be able to find this these head guards / grommets. We always, when we're referring to changing the grommets, we don't refer to the head guard, we just refer to grommets, because it all is head guard and grommets attached. But yes, we can change head guards and grommets. As you can see, I'm always moving my cross string whilst I'm pulling it. You want to avoid as much as possible the friction between main strings and cross strings. If you're just pulling without moving your hand up and down through the cross string, you will damage the string. So if I just pull and not do this, yeah, you will have lots of little markings on the string. That's from pretty much the strings rubbing together. It creates friction, therefore it almost, friction creates heat, so you're pretty much burning through the string ever so slightly. You gotta love the power holes. And I've got 3 of these rackets. Well, one's been done. But yeah, I don't know how much power it really actually adds. It's all marketing, placebo effects. Be careful with what they sell you. Not just in tennis, squash and badminton, but in general through life in itself. Words are free. Buying the products aren't. So I guess the power hole system didn't carry on throughout the years. It must have been for a reason, I guess. I'm not sure why. What reason that exactly might be. I mean, there are grommets. So, you know, there's grommets inside the frame. If you guys get down and you have a look inside the racket where the power holes are, so the power hole is actually the cutting of the frame, so that, you know, it's no grommet. But there is a grommet that goes up to about halfway in the racket. And then it's just an open power hole. That's what they call it. It's just an open piece within the frame. But I really don't think, you know, like again, the string is in a grommet, but you can't see that. It's within the racket. I know you guys are seeing me. If you have to do one of these rackets, you might be thinking, why am I getting the string through so easily? I have a lot of experience with the power holes over the years. Especially back in the day when I was a youngster, I saw a lot of these rackets. Not necessarily in squash, but tennis. Yeah, there was plenty of them in tennis. What was it? This is Wilson 6.2 or 3. That red one was the top part was red. So those were also hyper hammers. It was red, and was it an orange or I can't remember. I know there was definitely a red one. Then, oh, maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember. You know what though? Let's see if I can find this. There's a racket that I have. Talking about marketing and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if I have another one somewhere. With this client, I told him this was a load of sugar. The roller system, guys. I think I'm actually going to string this racket when I get a chance, which would probably be never. Awful. Look at these rollers. Little pieces of metal, circular pieces of metal that wrap around, the string wraps around it. Power holes. But this was not the power hole, sorry. The roller system. There used to be a yellow one. That one got kind of popular at one point. Predominantly yellow racket with a roller system as well. So they had an oversized and I think I don't know if it was mid-size, 95 or 100 square inch racket. Probably 95 back in the day. Everything was. So I'm going back 20 years at least, guys. More like 25 even when it was launched. And quick enough, that also disappeared. But yeah. It is what it is. It'll be what it needs to be, guys. Technology progresses, whether it's true or not, it's a different story. But we get sold things in a certain way, and then it's your job to believe it or not. Not a job, but yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. Not often you see shared grommets in squash racket, and even for that matter tennis, but it's more common, I would say, in tennis than squash. Guys, as you're going to see now, if I haven't mentioned this, I don't think I have in this video, support your string that you're actually physically pulling in that moment. You want your strings to be nice and straight, in line with their grommets or power holes or whatever you want to call it. If not, when you go move your strings afterwards, they'll... Right, sorry, 1 second. If I didn't sneeze during a video, it wouldn't be the same, would it? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Almost every video I do, I have to sneeze. Support the string, guys. When you have to move all your strings around at the end, your strings will lose tension. Obviously not a huge amount, but they will lose tension, unfortunately. So just keep an eye on that, guys. Yes, this is the price we pay for living in London, having sniffles and sneezing constantly. Despite the air quality being better than ever, and every year supposedly they're breaking records, I believe, with pollution levels being lower and lower. It doesn't mean the air is clean, though, in my opinion. What I will say is now it's coming up to Easter, and every school holiday in the UK, in London, sorry, London seems pretty empty to me. Alright, guys, 3 more weaves, including this one. You really want to string one in front, guys. I really encourage it. I mean, I struggled to kind of get that one through. So I can only imagine what it must be like without following the one ahead or one in front stringing system. I left myself 13.5 lengths of a full racket from the top of the racket to the bottom of the grip. And I have left myself probably a bit too much for my liking. But I'd rather that than leave myself short. I think on the next one I'm going to see how much I have left over this time. And whatever I have left over, apart from the knot, I will try to take away and give myself a much better, less wastage, I guess. So I don't know why they added, I mean this is older frame now, like I say, but I'm not entirely sure why they would have added one last cross here. It makes no sense. I mean, it's pushing against the, it will be pushing against the 12 o'clock fixture, this fixture here. So that's okay. I still have plenty of space to clamp my, to clamp the string. So what have I got here? So let's say I leave myself that much for the knot. So 13.5. So I could do it in 12.5, I'd like to think. 12.5, push, so like that. And let's say if I left myself that much for the knot, why don't I just tie the knot without cutting the string? The thing is, you always need a few inches to tie your knot. So I'd imagine I just need a couple, not a couple inches, but maybe 4 or 5 inches to do my knot, to not make my life tougher than it is. Parnell knot, guys, not much space here because the clamp doesn't fit all that well. It's already kind of further away than I'd like it to be, but anyway. Right, so chop my knot. Chop my knot. Yeah, so we've got 13.5. Well, it's not all that bad anyway. So it's like 2 halves of a racket. Fine. I will leave 13.5. Don't be so stingy. Anyway, no, I don't like wasting anything. Never mind expensive strings. But yeah, I'm quite good with wastage. Eating leftovers and stuff like that. Some of you don't eat leftovers. Why throw food away? I'm teaching my kids not to throw food away. You eat what you're given. Eat what you can. Save it for tomorrow if possible. Of course, sometimes not possible for whatever the reason. But there you have it, guys. Don't waste. Don't be wasteful. And Hyperhammer Wilson 120. Another one for the eBay. Wow. Another one for the YouTube books. Don't know what's going on with me. Guys, thanks for tuning in as always. And have yourself a great rest of the day, morning, evening, night, whatever it is, whatever time you're watching. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if you like what you're seeing. It looks like we've hit 110 subscribers at this point. By the time I load this video, which is in a very large queue or lineup, 20-30 videos unposted as it stands. Press that subscribe button, even if you don't. Say, yo, what's up? Show your love, guys. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully there was some useful information. Happy stringing and much love. Bye-bye.